the city of Rockport, street racers live their life on the edge. Rise through the ranks of the notorious Blacklist, burning rubber through the streets to earn your place at the top. Pink slips and the finish line talks, being slow walks. Tune and customize your ride to the peak of performance. Do you have what it takes to be number one? Do you have a need for speed? Let's dive into the successor of the beloved Need for Speed Underground 2 and see how well the torch was passed. Hello there, my name is Red and welcome to Have You Played It? A series taking a look at a game you may or may not have played. So out of nostalgia or curiosity, let me show you the original Need for Speed Most Wanted. Entering the world of street racing, you're greeted by "The lawyers told us we have to do this." The actor playing Mia, Josie Maran, needs to have a serious chat.
Hi, I'm Josie Maran and I play Mia in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Make sure you do all your racing in the game. On the streets, drive safely and responsibly, and wear your seatbelt.
The lawyers will sleep easy tonight. As the main menu may let on, Most Wanted does everything as dramatically as possible. You'll see as we go. Starting a new career, we're sent to the present day, in all its overbright, bloomy 2005 glory, complete with real actors and low-resolution world.
How's your car running?
Papers. I need your pink slip. He's dangerous. Be careful, he'll swap paint if he has to.
First, I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl. Get ready for that.
Stay focused. He's rolling on a lot of power, so wait for him to shift first.
You and Razor are off, and the police join this high-octane race. The cutscenes and in-game drama are a reflection fueled by the current popularity of the Fast and Furious franchise in 2005. In this in-engine cutscene, we're smoothly transitioned and handed the controls mid-race. A few gentle curves let you get a feel for your machine, the now iconic and distinct BMW M3 GTR. Mia calls you mid-race. You left a huge oil slick behind at the start of the race. But fading to black, we go back 6 days to when you first arrived in Rockport. With the sprawling city ahead, you're greeted by another racer, Mia. You tango through the streets, a dangerous dance, ramping your vehicles and dodging between traffic. But ahead you're stopped. Mia quickly flees, but you're trapped. We're introduced to one of the two main antagonists, with the grandeur of a Metal Gear Solid villain.
Oh man, did you pick the wrong street to run on?
Giving the unobjectively best performance of the cast, Cross ingratiates himself into our minds as the bad guy, despite being completely right about your car not being street legal and all the racing you're doing. He's taking you in and your car is destined to be pulled apart, but a call about a street race forces them to leave you, which I don't actually think is how law enforcement works, but okay. Unhappy, he leaves a parting gift by keying your car.
Nice pinstripe.
We jump to 4 days ago. In a great juxtaposition of Cross's great performance, we get whatever this guy's doing. Challenged to a race, we take Ronnie on. This is our first sprint race, a simple race from point A to point B. These early races are pretty easy, letting you feel powerful, skilled, and allowing you the freedom of the streets with minimal to no traffic. Once victorious, we are quite rudely cut off and get our first chronological meeting of Razor, asserting his dominance over his crew.
What did I tell you?
Razor, he shadowed me. I couldn't shake up.
Razor oozes bad guy jerk energy. Mia interrupts and swaggers onto the scene because of course she has to. Mia challenges Razor on our behalf, claiming we'll beat any of them.
$5 grand. $5 grand. Says my boy'll smoke this clown.
Razor himself won't race us, a nobody, as Ronnie helpfully informs us.
Yeah. This here is the number 15 guy on the blacklist. You got a lot of rep to earn before you get to run with him.
Is it just me or does the actor seem like he's trying to stifle laughter here? Anyway, with a racer chosen, Mia ups the ante to 10 grand. Not to be shown up, Razor calls the cops to ensure our race involves a police chase. Also a sneaky way to add some tutorializing. On the start line, you can rev your car until the needle is blue. Timing it, you can get a perfect launch for a boost. The police promptly join in. You're alerted to their presence by this bar up top, the arrow pointing shooting at police vehicles blinking faster as they get closer. Wrapped around your speedometer are 2 bars. The green is a refilling nitrous boost, a classic. You can use it as much or as little as you want rather than being forced to use it all at once like other games might do. It refills over time. The other is a slow-mo meter. It slows time and makes your car hypermobile, allowing a rather unrealistic amount of movement. It's basically an emergency button, but you don't really need to use it in the tutorial. With the race easily completed, we jump to just 2 days ago. Rog challenges you to a race, this time a circuit race. Pretty simple once again, an easy 2 laps. Rog and his other cohorts stay rather far behind most of the time. Rog, a friendly but unseen character, congratulates you. He warns to watch your back around these guys. He leaves as we unsubtly have a run-in with Razor. He gives us a call, letting you know he'd love to have a crack at your ride. That's right, because when you take on the Blacklist, you race for pink slips being ownership of the car. Now we're back to the present day, and you have a little more context to the intro that once again plays out. Ronnie suspiciously asks how our car is running. Suspicious. Your pink slips are taken. Razor claims he's gonna take our ride, then our girl. The typical bad guy jerk behavior. We get a strange vision of the race to come for some reason. Not sure why, but it is an additional scene for this intro. They probably thought it was cool. This time we race from the start. Razor does a better job of keeping up. The cops join in the chase promptly. It's a little less dramatic than the cinematic intro version we had before. Once again, very little traffic is around. Heading through, we get to the same point. Mia calls us. This time we see what happens. Our car gives out and the engine stops working. Unsurprisingly, we lose the race. Your precious car is towed away and Razor is very smug about it. With obvious confidence, Razor claims Mia for himself, and his crew of uncool douches are pretty gross about it.
She's mine now, and I'm gonna ride her like you never could.
Hard and flat.
These cutscenes all have the air of a crappy teen drama. It's both cringy and fantastic. The cops arrive and for some reason Mia doesn't offer you a ride. She just disappears. Suspicious or poor writing. With this game it could be either.
Bus stop's that way, champ.
Cross and his partner happily arrest you. Sometime later we're released and Mia picks us up.
Get in.
Turns out the cops couldn't convict us. Mia points out it must be hard to convict someone of street racing when they don't have a car. She lets us know Razor sabotaged our ride, ensuring we lost the race, as you may have suspected with Ronnie's comment. Using our sweet ride, Razor has climbed to the top of the Blacklist. If we want to take him down, we must rise through the ranks and beat him. Apparently a kneecapping in a dark alley is out of the question. Mia calls in a favor and we're able to buy a new basic car. You have a choice of 3 cars. You'll notice you can't afford the 4th car, a Golf GTI, but it is available. It's because if the game detects you have a save file for Need for Speed Underground 2 on your PC, you get 10k extra cash as a thanks. Without it, your choices are a Lexus i3 300, a Fiat Punto, or a Chevrolet Cobalt SS. They all have different starting stats. I went for the Fiat because honestly, I don't think I ever have in my entire life, so why not this time? Let me know in the comments if you're one of the rare ones that did. With our purchase complete, we head outside into the open world. We have a voice message from Mia on our singular phone. Voice messages and texts are how we get a great deal of information and lore in-game. Our new car is slow and has no nitro, but it's a start for our burning quest of vengeance. The arrow above points us to our current objective. You can also change the camera view. You have third person far back, road view, or hood view. I normally play on hood view, but for your viewing experience, I'll stick to third person. The sacrifices I make, you better be hitting that like button. We need to head to our safe house. Mia has given this to us as our base of operations. A very resourceful young lass. We get our first Blacklist target, Sonny. We get a bio on each Blacklist member, complete with an edgy intro filled with flip phones and street tag nameplates. Oh yeah. You also get the opportunity to see the car you have a chance of winning. In this menu we get our goals to take on Sonny. Story-wise, it's the tasks and goals the Blacklist member has set before they'll race you. We need to win 3 races, complete 3 milestones, and have a bounty of 20,000 or more. You can look at his bio again from here, check out his ride, and have a look at the 3 categories of requirements. Each has a short tutorial if needed. You get all the info you need in the safe house: cash, current bounty, and completion percentage. When looking at your car, you can see a heat meter here. Your cars will earn heat as you go. The higher the heat, the more aggressive the police will be during pursuits. You can leave a car in your garage to reduce heat over time or mod your car's appearance for an instant decrease. Heading back out, we have a map. The GPS system is available, allowing you to set a marker and drive to it, rather than fast traveling in your garage menu. There is a fast travel menu in free roam. I simply forgot about it for quite quite some time. Let us set a marker to our first race right here. You'll notice especially in the race the decrease in your speed. It's a common tactic for games to give players a taste of power then strip it away, giving you something to aim for. You get a better feel for how the game controls now, however. I enjoy the fun mix of arcade and simulation, not taking itself too seriously and allowing for some ridiculous fun. In a race you may come across shortcuts. Here we can zip behind an area taking a quicker route, though the fact you can plow through a massive dumpster is rather ludicrous. The hovering arrows, by the way, act as solid walls. You can't just drive through them. It keeps you on track and in the race. I'll showcase it properly later, but they can sometimes be a bit hard to see in this bloomy yellow tinted world. Once victorious, we get a text message from Rog. Early on the game will use this as an avenue to dump information if you've skipped it in the Safehouse tutorials. In the in-game menu you can change a few settings, how the map rotates and switch between the metric and imperial system of measurement, which is nice. You can also tune your car, but we can't yet as we haven't installed any tunable parts. Purchased cars come stock. Next to the photo ticket. The goal of a photo ticket is to be driving faster than the required speed, in this case 130 kilometers. You're teleported a distance away and need to drive. The traffic's light at the moment, so it's no real problem. Checking the menu back at the safe house and it's done. But let's try one of these pursuits. These types aren't on the map, they're simply goals you need to achieve while being chased by the police. However, the menu teleports you to a spot and initiates a pursuit. It's very convenient. You can complete multiple objectives in one go. I needed to hit 2 cop cars. Early on they aren't the smartest. They'll be low in level and number as your heat and bounty is minimal. The bar here shows how close you are to being arrested or escaping. Above the left symbol indicates how many vehicles you've hit, the other how many you've immobilized. The center is how many you need to defeat before they'll call for backup. They usually do this with about 1 or 2 left. Frustratingly, the game never really explains this bar at all. The top right will show your current progress on the milestones. One is the trade paint, one is counting up, the other is counting down. The timer counting up to 2 minutes denotes the need to last 2 minutes or more before evading. The timer counting down from 4 minutes is the reverse. So you could trade paint with 2 cop cars, last longer than 2 minutes but evade quicker than 4 minutes and get them all at once. Driving around in a chase you can gain infractions such as destruction of property to gain bounty, so you're encouraged to drive dangerously, speed and destroy. Once my trade paint objective was completed, I needed to escape. On the map you'll see these markers. These are pursuit breakers. Destroying the object will cause it to crash down, disabling the pursuing police. Evading the police you enter cooldown mode. Hiding spots then show up on your map. Hide or evade the police and you're free to collect your bounty and milestones. You get a full breakdown of all your nefarious deeds. I've completed the required amount of milestones, but I need to finish 2 more races and up my bounty, so back to the streets. Up next we have a knockout race. You and 3 racers compete in a circuit race, but after each lap, last place is knocked out. In this race I finally found an opportunity to legitimately use my slow motion ability. It can be quite difficult to control and lining up afterwards can be tricky. I think it's a good compromise allowing you to get out of a tricky spot, but you've got to be careful. Lastly, we have another circuit race. This lap has a few exciting things along the way. Firstly, there are 2 pursuit breakers as you go. They're still destructible and can slow down but not destroy other racers. The first one, there wasn't anyone behind me, I just did it for fun, but the petrol station I dropped did slow down the competition. So yeah, take that, the thousands of people I probably inconvenienced. There's 2 nice shortcuts you can also take. The hard to see arrows really caught me here. I aborted last second because I thought arrows were blocking the way, but they weren't. It's the tricks of this bloomy yellow world. Next time around I took it and cut through some back streets. The second shortcut cuts you through this curvy highway. It also has an exciting ramp in the middle, allowing you to glide over the top of traffic and competition. You may notice after a race your competition is still in the world. You can't really do anything with them, however, no challenging them to a one-on-one or what have you. But now it's time to hit the upgrade shop. You can find several on the map in this area. You have 3 categories to upgrade: parts, performance and visuals. Parts contains body kits, spoilers, rims, hood and roof scoop. Performance contains engine, transmission, suspension, nitro, tires, brakes and turbo. Visual contains paint, vinyls, rim paint, window tint, decals, numbers and custom gauges. Time to spend some cash. Firstly, let's reduce our heat. You can choose from different colors and types of paint, but gloss is the only one available to us at the moment. Beating Blacklist members unlocks more choices. Nicely, you can apply multiple things, adding to your cart but not paying for it yet. It allows you to pick and choose what you want before committing. I go for a glossy red with a white stripe. Buying this reduces this car's heat level. You can see it here indicated in blue when shopping. Next, I check out performance. performance. Same deal, you can add items, even overspend before committing. You can't go into negative, so you need to remove items until you have enough cash. All the brands in the game are real, by the way, like the vehicles. I can only imagine how much it must cost in licensing. With my car done and my wallet empty, it's time to raise my bounty to take on Sonny. But first, let's see what happens if you get arrested, why not? In the bounty menu, you can choose any of these spots to start a pursuit as well. When arrested, you're taken away and forced to either pay your infractions or use a favor token. You're given 3 tokens to start with. If you can't pay and have no tokens, your car is impounded. What little cash you have remaining is taken as well. At this point, if you have no secondary car, you get a game over. The game doesn't autosave, so you can simply load from your last save. If you have more than one car, the car that you're arrested in gets an impound strike, indicated here. Be wary, fill up those strikes and you lose that car. Now back to increasing our bounty. Damaging property, taking down police vehicles, as well as the duration of the chase all increase your bounty. Your vehicle can get damaged, by the way, but it is merely cosmetic. It repairs itself between loading screens. With our bounty high enough, we get a message stating Sonny's looking for a race. Head to the challenge location on the map. You defeat every Blacklist member head to head. In Sonny's case, 2 different circuit races. They're the reversed versions of the 2 we just completed. The first is pretty easy, but we do finally see a bit more traffic, letting you have a few scrapes and near misses. The second is less about traffic and more about the lines you take. Sonny got ahead of me both times when I tried to use this minor shortcut through the petrol station. I find this shortcut isn't worth taking going this direction. You need to slow down too much upon exit. The second time through, I pinged around it rather ridiculously, but learning the tricks of the map and these shortcuts is part of the most wanted experience. I caught up to Sonny both times on the second shortcut. He takes it too, but it seems to slow him down a significant amount. The races with Sonny are a bit closer at least. The Blacklist members are noticeably tougher and also benefit from a lot more rubber banding. If you're unfamiliar with the world and the game, these races can be a bit trickier. With Sonny defeated, we get to choose 2 of 6 tokens. Despite what you're led to believe from the opening, it's possible to not win the opponent's pink slip for their car. 3 are random tokens. They can be cash, impound markers, get out of jail tokens, or the coveted pink slip. The other 3 are a unique visual, part, or performance upgrade, only obtainable by spending a token here. I've never once chosen them in my entire life. Give me that sweet, sweet pink slip. Gambling it all, I get some cash and a get out of jail free token. Crap. With your fantastic or not so fantastic loot in pocket, you've now defeated your first Blacklist member. 14 more to go. Now you're introduced to your next opponent. This one is Taz. Like Gandalf risking a little extra light to see the beauty of Moria, I shall risk Taz's intro with its music. In my opinion, Need for Speed games from this era had some fantastic soundtracks. Taz's intro was an instrumental custom mix of the Avenged Sevenfold song Blinded in Chains that you'll find on the soundtrack. An awesome jukebox exists in the menu, allowing you to turn songs on or off. You can toggle them to play in menus only while racing or both. It's a fantastic amount of customization. The soundtracks, especially from Underground 1, 2 and this game Most Wanted, really introduced me to a genre I now love, metal. And that is something I'll always be thankful for. Now, there are 14 more people on the Blacklist to take down, with several more race types we haven't seen yet. Firstly, the drag race, which is more like a mini-game. Short point A to B races while hitting left or right to change lanes. You need to dodge traffic, ensure a perfect launch, and optimize your gear changes. Speed trap, which requires you to compete to get the highest accumulated speed through multiple traffic cameras. You don't need to cross the finish line first, you just need the best average total. And finally, Tollbooth races, which are timed solo races, requiring you to keep your timer above 0 as you gain seconds passing through each checkpoint. Sadly, the drifting event, one of my favorites from Underground 1 and 2, is completely absent from this game. It's time to take revenge on Razor and reclaim your prized car. Smash and outrun the police, drive on the edge and leave your opponents in the dust. The driving is a fun mix of arcade and simulation. The speed feels good, not just high speed, but early game lows as well. You aren't thrusted into high high-end models instantly, aside from the 10-ish minutes you do at the beginning. It gives you a real sense of accomplishment and pride when you can purchase that new car, mod it and make it your own. The progress is real, with visual gratification, even if you just go to the garage and stare at your cars. For the time, the list of cars available was a pretty solid list, but the car customization lost some things when dipping out of the nighttime tuna scene. It's much more limited than Underground 2, especially the cool night scene vibes, as Most Wanted is only in the daytime. The sound effects as you swoop in and out of traffic are fantastic, enhancing the feel and pace. The map opens up as you go, unlocking new areas to race in. You need to learn the world and its shortcuts as you go. With knowledge comes speed. I will say once you really know the map and really understand the driving, it can be pretty easy. It gets tougher, but up until the last 3 Blacklist members, it's not too bad. The real life actors and scenes are goofy, fun, over the top, and just plain ridiculous. The graphics of attempted realism very much show their age here. Next gen bloom is all over the place. But happily, the Most Wanted modding scene is filled with fixes, widescreen support, and more, so check them out too if you're interested. I personally love and miss the sense of progression Most Wanted and games like it gave you, starting from nothing and working your way up to the top. Sadly, Most Wanted got a pretty poor remake in my less than humble opinion. It was so unconfident in itself, it instantly jams you into so many fancy vehicles as quickly as possible, scared you get bored or something. I wasn't impressed. Working your way to the top, starting small rather than instant gratification, was what made Most Wanted and games like Underground 1 and 2 great. The next game, Carbon, carried the torch, and I'll visit that someday too. Let me know if you've played it. I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite memory inside this ridiculous world? But for now, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you can. And again, always remember,
First I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl.
goodbye for now.